Today I want to talk about something fascinating about capitalism that is often misunderstood or misinterpreted, and it's the fact that whenever we trade or an exchange, we both agree on the value of things. The very opposite is what actually happened. Let's say, for instance, I have an object that you want, and you have an object that I want, and we trade those two objects. I got an object that I value more than the object I gave up. You got an object that you value more than the object you gave to me. In order to better understand this, let's watch a video that explains the difference between communism, socialism, fascism, and capitalism by the mediums of two cows.
Communism. That's where you have two cows. The state takes both and gives you some milk. Socialism. You have two cows. You give one to your neighbor.
Notice how on those two examples there's no voluntary exchange, no creation of new value or no value added. The state simply confiscates people's property and decide to give them some milk, or the state dictates that some of the property must be given to your neighbor. And again, in that case, there's no voluntary exchange and no value added. Much the contrary, the value is being subtracted one way or another. Subtracted when the government takes the property from the people and decides to give them milk in exchange. Also subtracted when it decides for you that one of your cows must be given to your neighbor. Also, if your neighbor receives something for free, in the long term, that will hurt his own self-esteem. Now let's look at fascism.
Fascism. You have two cows. The state takes both and sells you some milk.
Once again, the state is the boss and the owner of all property. In this case, in fascism, it takes the property of the owner and decides to sell the owner some milk. Once again, non-voluntary exchange and subtraction of value instead of adding value. Now, let's look at capitalism.
Traditional capitalism. You have two cows. You sell one and buy a bull. Your herd multiplies and the economy grows. You sell them and retire on the income.
So here you can see that there is a creation of value and voluntary exchange. The owner sells one cow, buys a bull, another voluntary exchange, and now his herd multiply, and now he can sell more cows and sell more milk, and eventually he's going to be able to retire on his income. You can see how in capitalism there is respect for private property, there is voluntary exchange, and there is adding value or adding wealth to the system. Most people who hate capitalism, they hate capitalism because they believe in the capitalist system one can only become rich or wealthy by exploiting other people. And I hope to show you guys examples to demonstrate that the capitalist system is the only system that guarantees that both parties win whenever a trade is made. Let's imagine two persons, John and Peter. John has a bicycle and wants a phone. Peter has a phone but needs a bicycle to be able to move around. Now those two decided to exchange or trade those objects. What happened here was an agreement to trade, however a disagreement in value, because both parties believed they got a better deal. John believes he got a better deal by getting the phone. Peter believes he got a better deal because he got the bicycle he needs. As you can see, each party in this deal believes that they gain more, and the same thing applies for every other exchange in the capitalist system, as long as the exchange is voluntarily. That extends to service and everything else. For instance, let's say my car is broken, and I pay a mechanic to fix my car. That mechanic may have taken 3 days to fix my car. Now, I value a fixed car more than I value the money I'm paying my mechanic. My mechanic value more the money that he's gonna get from me than the 3 days that he's spending fixing my car. The same thing is true for a coffee or a restaurant. Let's say, for instance, you decide to go and have dinner at a restaurant. That restaurant value your money more than the food that they're serving you. Conversely, you value more the food and the experience at the restaurant than the money that you have. And just like in capitalism, subscribe to the channel is a voluntary exchange where we both walk away happier. So please hit the subscribe button. Taxes, on the other hand, are not part of the capitalist system because it is not a voluntary exchange. People do not pay taxes because they want to or because they believe on the benefits that they get in return. People pay taxes because they're afraid to go to jail or get into problems with the government. As you can see, another word for capitalism is voluntarism. a system where every exchange is voluntarily and everyone engage on that exchange because they believe they're winning. So capitalism is the only system where we can have mutual benefit for everyone involved, as long as the exchange occurs on the voluntary basis. Now, my question to you is, did you find this video insightful? If you did, please do share with others. Also, let me know your thoughts on the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. That's it for now. See you guys in the next video.